Hi, friends. Okay, so I get a lot of questions about, um, breaking stigmas and how to start talking about the hard conversations about pain, basically. So, whether, in my personal experience, I've experienced domestic abuse, um, spiritual abuse, mental illness, suicide, addiction, alcoholism, codependency, divorce, lots of things, and grief, parenting children who are grieving, all that. So I do get a lot of questions of how to approach these conversations with loved ones or how to handle things in your own life and things like that. So I wanted to kind of open this up to start talking. And basically, I've written a lot about this, but pain is pain. And when you experience loss of any kind, whether it's a child or an unborn baby or a relationship, a parent, a job, even breakups and things that seem, trivial or not as grand on the scale, it really doesn't matter. There isn't really a scale of, oh, this is the worst that could happen and this is like, man, I can get over it. That's not really how the heart operates. And so when your heart experiences loss and that pain, that kind of pain is pain. And so that's something that's universal. Every human experiences pain, whether it's to greater degrees, or lesser, depends on the human and the situation and all of that. So I'm going to just start off this conversation by saying I don't like when people compare their pain to my pain, or, vice versa. Like, oh, I haven't been through that, or, or I have been through that and more, things like that. And I'm like, everybody's experience is so uniquely tragic and heartbreaking, and I can see myself in other people, whether it's the pain of a breakup, it was just my boyfriend or my girlfriend or whatever. I'm like, that's freaking painful. You had a person and then now you don't, but they still exist in the world and you don't get to be with them. That fucking hurts. So I don't like when people diminish their own pain or try to rate it. Like, there's no rating system. Let's just say pain is pain and it all sucks. Loss and death are obviously very final and hopeless. There's no hope of an addict recovering in that situation, or someone healing or something like that. But what I know about pain is that, just like everything, every negative emotion we feel, whether it's jealousy, bitterness, hurt, frustration, fear, anger, all of that, it is an invitation and it's an open opportunity for us to move into a space, move into an area of discovering parts of ourselves that we didn't know even existed. And hear me when I say, when you're in the middle of pain, that does not matter. It does not matter that I may grow into some incredible person and no, nobody gives a shit about that when their loved one just died. Like, who cares? Whatever growth I would experience is not worth my loved one dying. So thank you, but no. So I get that. I really, truly do. I can't even tell you how many times I thought, yeah, this is not worth the testimony I'm going to have, or the story I'll get to share, or how I'll get to relate to so many different people. I don't fucking care whenever I'm like in agony over here and my whole life was just flipped upside down. Don't really care what I'm going to give to the world, in a year or 2 or 6 or whatever it is. So again, there's context for all of that. But what I do know is this: if you're breathing, if you're alive, there's hope. There's a reason to live, and there's a purpose for you. And I truly do believe that. I don't care how high you are on the spectrum or low, it doesn't matter. Life, human life, is the most valuable, treasured thing that we can ever hope to touch. So I'm going to start the conversation there with pain is universal. Humans are fascinating and valuable and totally worth the fight to live. Whether we always feel like it or not is definitely another topic, another video for another day. But I think in order to connect with each other and start to break these stigmas about the taboo topics of our culture, we have to get comfortable with other people's pain. We got to get comfortable with our own pain. Like leaning in to the discomfort of not feeling high or up or happy. You gotta be able to handle it. You gotta be able to sit with that. And if you can't, I'm gonna do my hands and I'm gonna do this thing that I always do. You have to get aligned here. You have to be in alignment with yourself. You have to be able to listen to your inner child and hear that inner voice and what's really hurting and scratching at your walls inside. And that's where the conversation about these stigmas starts right here, as with everything. So once we can get comfortable with our own discomfort, then we can start to get comfortable with other people's discomfort. And that's where the beautiful conversations and connections and human growth can happen. And that's where these stigmas start to break down. So if you have ever felt isolated or alone or cast out or put in a corner or boxed up, shunned, any of that, this space is for you. My space, my words are for you. And I have been there. I have felt that. I have walked beside people, many people, very closely and very deeply, that have experienced very, very dark human emotions and can seem very overwhelming and not worth the fight, but I guarantee you that it is. So find people that can speak to your darkness and not be scared of it or need to change it for you or fix it. There are people in the world like that. So I'm one of them. You can come and hang out with me in this space and we'll continue to talk. So please share your stories and your thoughts and ideas on this. I want to get a conversation going. I love hearing from you. So feel free to post. We'll talk soon.